alam ko it's crazy out there, but you guys.
And alam kong lahat ng mga ladies dito excited na makita yung abs ni James Reid in person. I personally am trying to find out a way to kind of like touch it. Gusto ko lang ma-feel. Hindi niyo ba gusto ma-feel? Gusto, di ba? Ayaw. Pero gusto mo makita, di ba? Gusto mo makita, yan. To see the body, the century body, di ba?
Speaking of, Joyce, kanina may nakita ako sa labas. Nagbubukas ng can ng Century Tuna. Sabi ko, bakit ka nagbubukas ng can ng Century Tuna?
Bakit daw?
Hindi pala nakakain. Ipapahid na sa abs. Pandasal na lang. So I don't know what's gonna happen tonight, but it's sure gonna be pretty intense. And it's gonna be a night full of surprise as well. And speaking of surprises, I know you've seen the standees of James Reid all around. We're encouraging everybody to take your photos, your most creative and wacky photos with our standees, our James Reid standees, which are located all over the room. And the most creative photos later on with the hashtag Body of the Century and hashtag Nobody But James.
Yes.
Or Nobody But James.
Yeah.
Those two hashtags, you got to put them on your social media accounts or your posts, and you stand a chance to win a prize later on in the program. So once again, our hashtags for tonight, hashtag Nobody But James and hashtag Body of the Century.
Pag sinabi mo bang wacky post with a standee, Sam, paano ba yung mga wacky post? I mean, we have a standee right here. Could you please show everybody a way to kind of like do a wacky post with James?
Paano ba?
Paano bang atake dito?
Medyo siya makaka-awkward kasi man-to-man, di ba? Pero gagawin natin to for the sake of
For the sake of art, yes.
Huwag nyo lang ang picturean, guys.
For the sake of an Instagram post.
Baka kumalap ang social media to, kung gagawin ko. Yan. Pwede mong hawakan ng abs niya.
Yeah.
Hawakan ng isang very nasasarapan face. Yan. Sabi niyo, huwag niyo ako anak. Kasabi lang, huwag.
Ang ganda.
Alam na naman sa social media yan eh.
Ayan, so alam niyo na ako na yung mga peg natin for the posts for tonight.
Oh, now speaking of social media, make sure if you're joining the contest, your Instagram, Twitter accounts are on public, so we can actually see your posts later on, and you'll be qualified to join. Now, also, if you do not win the photo contest, well, there is still a raffle later on in the program.
There's a raffle. Do you know already what we're giving away, Sam?
We are giving away a trip for two with overnight accommodations to Bulacan. Okay, basta may raffle prize, kayo sa dulo yan. Sabihin ko sa inyo. Gusto mo, diba?
Gusto mo yun?
Kasama pa ako.
Si Sam yung magdadrive sa'yo kung gusto mo niyan, di ba? So lots of prizes, lots of contests. Now we've seen the teaser. We've also seen that amazing TV spot that James had with this new, hot, sexy, and reinvented century body. What else do we have in store for tonight?
Well, Joyce, you did mention the video, no? I'm sure you guys have seen it on Facebook, on YouTube. Now, guess what? I've been part of the Century Tuna family for a few years. Now, when they launched the Super Mods campaign, or the finale, which was held in the Pool Club last year, on Starcast, that gathered a total of 1.2 million views. All right, now the Body Reinvented campaign enjoyed 2 million views in a span of 5 days. Ganong kabilis. And now, as of September 5, it has 4.1 million views. Balita ko, yung 3.5 million doon, yung isang girl doon talaga.
Nireplay, ni-share. Yan, di ba? As you would do it, of course, if you see the body of the century, that is James Reid. A lot of things in store for everybody tonight. Please don't forget to use the hashtag #NoBodYames, also body of the century. But right about now, we're excited to welcome somebody here on stage to tell you more about what this campaign is all about and how James actually is so excited to be a part of the Century Tuna family. Please help us and welcoming here on stage the General Manager and Vice President of Century Pacific Food Incorporated, Mr. Reid. Everybody!
Hello everyone. Lakas talaga ng hatak ng Century Tuna. Dami niyong dumating. So I'm sure you're all excited to see our endorser, James Reid. It's finally arrived and raring to go. But I have a few slides that I wanted to show you. Information. We're very thankful for your attendance to all of our events that we do on a regular basis to keep you updated on what's new and what's happening with our favorite brand, Century Tuna. It's not been 4 months since we just completed the Century Tuna Super Bonds. Very successful. It was our 10th year, and we had the hottest contestants and, of course, the hottest winners that are starting to make waves in the modeling industry. But at that point, it actually generated very strong business results for us. And we said, okay, we're very successful with Super Bonds, but it started to make us worried kasi sabi namin, where do we take the business from here? So as stated here to us, this famous guy, Anonymous, said, it's dangerous to think you're successful because you tend to be complacent. And Century has been, to a certain extent, quite successful. #1 tuna brand for the longest time. Strong brand equity. When you say Super Bond, it's closely related to Century Tuna. And we're also going international. I think in our previous encounters and meetings, we've talked to you about Century Tuna being exported and sold to many stores all over the world. And I'm very happy to tell you that we're now already in 58 countries globally. Not bad for a Filipino brand. And we're present in Walmart, Safeway, Carrefour, Giant, and all of the other big retailers. And that's the reason why we always try to exceed and better ourselves, because Century Tuna really is something good for the consumer. Real food that give real results. We talked to you in the past about the vitamin D and the omega-3 in the product that helps fight belly fat. And that's why we've anchored our campaigns on abs because of the real results from Century Tuna. It also quells cortisol and insulin, those two enzymes that actually store fat. So from there, we've always been talking about being able to give consumers a way to be their fittest best and achieve their fitness goals. And we talked to you about the fitness equation on a regular basis. Right amount of calories per day, right food, and exercise. But then, we've always used advertising as the way to communicate. Pero napansin namin, although our advertising has been, I guess, cutting edge for the longest time, we noticed that consumers were starting to say, yun na naman, parang okay, when they see the commercial, they appreciate the campaign, and they get the message, they support the brand, but we didn't want to be typecasted and limited to just being the same formula. So that's why we came up with this challenge. Although we've been effective over the years, we didn't want to be complacent. The challenge was to make a campaign that would go viral. So we talked to our agency, PCNV. The guys are here. Actually, let's give PCNV headed by Ariel Comia and his team. As well as we said, okay, do something that's viral. Do something that people will remember for many years. And similar to how Richard Gomez was rowing, I guess, in the bench commercial many years ago, for those of you who are old enough to remember. So, and we put together that strong team, and we said, there were several boards that were presented, but we said, not good enough, not good enough, not good enough. Until finally, this board came up, which we were talking about just a while ago. And we hit the 4.1 million views, even if our target was just to go for about 2 million. So we'd like to thank, of course, the brilliant work of our director, Mr. Director Sid Maderaso. That idea of a white liquid and all of that was carefully thought about. We did some screen tests on how cooperative the white liquid would be, and we finally ended up deciding on using cornstarch and water. Yung cornstarch na yun and water solution na tumulo kay James, tinago namin yun, nasa kwarto ng product manager namin. But, tinutulugan niya yun. But it really worked. We've been able, aside from the 4.1 million views, it created an avalanche of social media reaction. So these are just some of the examples. It just kept going and going. Parang metro ng taxi na mabilis ang takbo. And we were surprised. One of the things that we noticed was that men started to post their own James Reid version. So, ang favorite ko dito si Century Tuna, si Kevin Ray Tolin. Nakalagay pa dyan, Kevin the morning after. So, nilike agad ng product manager namin. So, speaking of product manager, of course, we'd also like to say happy birthday to the product manager of Century Tuna, Cheska. Actually, yung iced tea lang ang sagot ng Century Tuna dito. Yung pagkain, Cheska nagbayad niya. So, and it was more and more and more men posting, and even a James Reid look-alike. Challenge accepted. So, the interest, tsaka iba, hindi pa nag-shave. Valid. But the interesting thing is that of the 4.1 million and counting so far, 62% were men. So, nagulat kami. Because when we created this ad, along with the ad agency, Direct Seed, the guidelines were, it had to be appealing to women, but it shouldn't be alienating to men. Dapat astig pa rin, di ba? So that men will appreciate it. 67% of tuna shoppers are women. Pero baliktad na nangyari. 62% of those who viewed the commercial online, that's only on Facebook. There's a lot of numbers as well on YouTube and all kinds of other social media platforms. Were men. So I think we've achieved our objective of expanding our market. Tapos ito hindi kami sure kung male or female. Pero okay din yung picture. That is joking. So, but that's it. So far, so good. But we said, okay, we've caught everyone's attention, which was the intention. But we now have to go back to realities. There's so many tuna brands today. And I think you've noticed. I'm not going to mention their brand names because I wouldn't want to be helping the competition. But we felt that we needed to do a 1-2 punch. So we had that very viral campaign. But tonight we'll introduce to you a commercial that's more aligned with how we've always communicated. But of course with the added touch of Sid Pataraso, PCNV, Jela Gamboa, marketing thinking, and Cheska Sabiel's marketing thoughts. So tonight we'll share with you a new campaign, follow up weeks after a very successful viral video that will just talk about the importance of trusting a brand. So that's all I have to say. I'm sure you're all excited to meet the biggest, the sweetest couple on radio, Joyce and Sam, and of course our endorser, James Reid. So enjoy the rest of the evening, and thank you again for coming. Thank you so much.
Alright, thank you so much, Sir Greg. Let's give him a big round of applause once again for an inspiring message. Nakita nyo na yung mga gusto maging James Reid. Medyo iba dating. Ako mismo, sinabi ko rin kay Direct Seed, hindi na akong sinungaling, binuhos ako yung sarili ko ng gatas, pero hindi ganun yung epekto. Mukha pa rin akong Indian guy. Binuhos ng gatas. Of course, Sir Greg was referring to how James was a great sport and very game for the campaign. Now we're going to present to you the behind-the-scenes footage of the newest Century Tuna ad. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all take a look at this.
Trying to stay fit, keep in shape, reinvent. You need those people to support you and back you up. Take a ride with you. Tips, have a support group, people with the same goal as you. Also keep a can of Century Tuna or any protein that you can in your backpack just for a quick, healthy snack just like that. Okay guys, you've seen what Century Tuna can do, so grab a can now and don't forget to watch my Century Tuna TV commercial.
Alrighty. My gosh. Kitang-kita mo naman doon, no, Sab? When you want the body of the century, you gotta work hard for it. Not only do you have to stay fit by doing your exercises, you also have to have the perfect diet for it as well, right? We've seen everything. We've seen the BTS, we've seen the teaser as well. What's new and what does James have to say about being the face, the newest endorser of the country's #1 tuna?
Well, actually, the TVC that we saw, the actual that was actually launched on TV. Well, I'm kind of speaking lines, about. Now we're about to show you the latest Century Tuna commercial with James, talking about his latest winning moves. Let's take a look at this.
Of all the tuna brands, why did I choose Century? If you're in a championship game, which teammate would you choose? Syempre, the one you trust the most. For me, that's Century Tuna. Whether flakes in oil or mas masarap na corn tuna. It's your body. Why entrust it to just any other tuna? For me, dapat to number one. Only Century.
There you go.